it's Barbara. It is Monday, November 9th. And welcome. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It is a stunning day today, kind of unbelievable. There's not a cloud in the sky, and I am wearing my sundress. I actually had a light cardigan on, thinking, you know, November, too much. Of course, I am in the sun. Thank you so much for all your good wishes and condolences on the loss of Garland. I cannot tell you how much it meant to me. And I texted Vicky and said, be sure your mother reads the comments on my vlog today, because they are for her too. And so I don't know if she did that or not, but I will help her do that if she hasn't seen them. So don't worry, she will get them directly. Vicky and Aura are, as I talk now, speaking to the funeral director about the final decisions about the funeral, the interment at the military cemetery. All the details of the funeral, the Garland and Aura had worked out 5 years ago and paid for, and you know, they didn't want us thinking about any of that stuff, and they didn't want to think about it, and so that's good. So she didn't have to think about that. She just called them and said, you know, hey, it's time. So, and they just jumped right in and took over. So that was so great. So we will hear the final decisions and plan accordingly. So we thought we were going to bring ham for dinner tonight, but it turns out we forgot. Vicky had plans for dinner tonight with some shrimp. So shrimp, you know, you got to eat it, and well, good with that. So they're coming over for dinner tomorrow night and have the ham. The ham turned out, it was delicious but weird. The consistency of it was so compact and dense, much denser than a normal ham that you would, fresh ham you would, you know, but this is a ham that's hung for 2 years. Its texture changed. It's really delicious, but it's going to be interesting to see how we feel about it and how we eat it. Dennis is, I think, planning on a mustard cream sauce for tomorrow night. And he's already got he deboned it and got the bone in for bone broth already. That was last night, so we shall see. But we're having them over tomorrow, which means that today's the day, or tomorrow early, I have to clean off my table so we can eat at the table, and you know, maybe dust and clean the powder room. My cleaning schedule in my past life has all been predicated on when company's coming. So company's coming, which means my house might get a little cleaner. It won't be magic. I'll have to do it, but you know. So my mother-in-law's doing okay. She's doing good. She's got Vicky there, so that's good. And you know, she said, she was sitting there just, everything just changed. I'm like, yep, everything just changed. She said, I can wake up in the morning and then just decide what I want to do. And that'll be the first time ever in my life. So everything has changed for her. So I expect that she will thrive. I don't expect her to, well, who knows? She's never lived alone a day in her life. Neither has my mother. So she, and I think it'll be for her, but maybe not. And if not, she has options. So there we are. Yesterday, I really appreciated the comments. I cannot tell you how lovely you people all are. And let me fix you. Let me fix me. And I was just, you know, needing my twiddle muff. And I was so happy with the yarn that I started Christy's Boxy, and I just sat there, you know, and knit 3 rows of ribbing, one by one ribbing, which is easy to do, and then I just knit and I knit and I knit. And this is Christy's Boxy, and I am so happy with how the yarn turned out, and so is she. I had my craft night with her last night, and we sat and talked about garland, and I knit on her Boxy, but I am so thrilled with how it is coming out. So here is how it winds up, and here is how it knits up, and I am so tickled with it, and she likes it too. She's very happy with it. So this is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous Boxy. And I'm well on the way. I mean, I got 3.5, 4 inches done, right? Just knit, 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 knit. That, it was all I wanted to do. It helped me. It was beautiful. I sat out here and knit in the afternoon, and I sat and watched some TV and knit, and then I talked to Christy and knit. And I just knit. And it worked great. So that was so good. And I'm so excited about how it's knitting up. So that's fun, because it didn't look like I pictured it, but boy, I'm happy with how it turned out. So I just have to be confident that it isn't going to be what I thought it was going to be whenever I go and try to dye it. But I'm really happy with it, and Christy likes it too. I just have little gold filigree earrings on today. I have no idea where I got them. I found them in my drawer. I thought they were like grapes, but because we have a lot of grape things in our family, because my dad had a winery. But these are just sort of hearts and filigree. They look very Indian to me, but I could be wrong about that. I don't remember where I got them from, but they're very delicate and very sweet, and you haven't seen them before. So the other thing, you know, everything's been discombobulated, as you know. The other thing is the lovely Linda Mavie, I was going to say Maisie, Mavie, gave me the Knit Vent pattern series from Curious Handmade as a gift. Such a lovely thing. And every Thursday a new pattern comes out for 6 Thursdays or 5 Thursdays. And this was last Thursday's pattern, and I didn't show it to you because, you know, life. So this is a very pretty shawl. She's calling it the Tidings shawl. And that's it in the back. So it's got a couple of stripes, and the body of it is all patterned. And of course, Helen Stewart does this line, you know, row by row directions, which I really like, you know, especially if you're doing something with the pattern. I really like it, and then I just check it off and go. You don't have to. She does include charts if you prefer to knit from a chart. And okay, so now we know this is 130 rows, this shawl, because she has it all charted out. So anyway, it's a pretty, very pretty shawl. And thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. I am going to be doing the cowl from last week as in part of my Advent. Oh, and Megan's Advent arrived, so that was good. So I have my yarn Advents are here and ready, and I have my L'Occitane Advent for hand creams and whatever. So I had ordered 2 embroidery floss Advents that haven't arrived yet, and I am going to the post office today. As soon as I'm done with this, I have to package up the girls' Advents and send them out, or they're not going to get them by December 1st. That would be terrible because I've had them in plenty of time. I should have just had them mailed straight to them. I don't. Sometimes I just don't make the best decisions in the end. That's not an easy thing for me to say, as you can imagine. Although I do make mistakes. I do. Actually, as a knitter, we are all confronted with mistakes all the time. So it's actually not that bad. I'm just frogging the whole Advent thing and starting over at the post office today. That's how I'm gonna think about it. So, yeah. I'm gonna need the boxy today too. And it won't hurt me to be a little busy trying to straighten up the house. That'll be helpful too. So, I'll call Aura, make sure she's okay. See if she wants us to come over, even though they're coming over here tomorrow. Probably not. I can imagine that. You know, Kim has gone home, so now it's just her and Vicky. You know, a quiet afternoon after making arrangements is probably just the ticket. And I left all the limes over there so she can have caipirinhas. Vicky can make her a caipirinha. I'll have to text Vicky and remind her she has all the limes in case her mother wants a caipirinha. Because, you know, make a toast. We toasted garland several times on Friday. And can keep doing that. No reason not to. No reason not to. So the girls are out here with me. Oh, I guess I'll put it at the end since I didn't mention at the beginning. Dennis, when he was coming over on Friday, he had just taken notice of these two amazing trees because the sun was shining and they were beautiful red. And so he wanted me to see them, so he took me for a ride yesterday. And I took video of those trees. Hey, pup, you want to say hi? Oh, and I have a pup doggy story. Hey, Pearl. Hey, Pearl, get on this video. I'm going to talk about you. Yeah. Are you getting anything of her? Just the tail? No. Sorry. So anyway, he took me for a ride yesterday past those trees, and I took some video of it. Hey, puppy. Are you a good girl? So, one of the things I've been seeing a lot on Facebook now that Biden has passed the 270 mark in the Electoral College, presumably. I've been seeing a lot of things on Facebook of sort of relief, America's relief that there will be a dog in the White House again. Because apparently Trump doesn't have a dog. I wasn't aware of that. There will be dogs in the White House because the Bidens have two dogs, and they have German Shepherds. They have two beautiful German Shepherds, Champ, who is an older German Shepherd, about 12 years old, and Major, who is a rescue dog, apparently. Somebody was touting, finally a rescue dog in the White House. But turns out, Champ, their older dog, is Pearl's great uncle. And our dog, Dasha, who was wonderful, who you would have seen in my podcast some years ago. She's died 2.5 years ago now. She was Champ's great aunt. Yeah, or cousin once removed, because both Dasha and Pearl came from the same breeder as Champ. At the time they got Champ, she had a beautiful German Shepherd farm. She called it the German Shepherd farm. About a half an hour from where we live, and she breeds beautiful dogs, as you can see, because we have beautiful dogs. She breeds for search and rescue. She does not breed for conformity, although her dogs are beautiful. But they're so even-tempered. I mean, they're the most amazing dogs. The most amazing dogs. Well, Joe Biden, when he was vice president, got Champ from her back in the day, about 12 years ago. And apparently, which was about 2 years after we got Dasha, she had a beautiful place. She had 2 indoor swimming pools for the dogs to swim in, but she had about 75 dogs. I mean, she was a German Shepherd breeder for a living. Like I said, she was breeding search and rescue and all kinds of stuff. And after the publicity, after Joe Biden got a dog from her, apparently she started getting attacks from PETA or places like that I couldn't remember what it was, and I was telling Christy this story, and she said it was probably PETA, because they're against people even having pets. So apparently they're against breeders and that kind of stuff. So anyway, they ended up driving her out of Pennsylvania, and she now has a much smaller operation in Maryland. And so we drove to Maryland to get Pearl, because she breeds such amazing dogs. And I'm sure Joe and Jill will agree with me that she breeds amazing dogs, because their dog Champ is related to our Pearl. I'm quite sure. So that's the White House connection. I'm expecting an invitation to the White House come January. Yeah. Hey, family. Who knew? Well, I knew, but I hadn't thought about it till I saw those pictures of Champ, who looks just like my Dasha, only she was a little more brown. He's a little darker. But, yeah. So anyway, that's today. And I will put that footage of the beautiful drive we took yesterday at the end of this. And then I'm going to go clear my table, box up my gifts for my granddaughters, my Advents, and work on my boxy, work on Christy's boxy. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am with this. And every minute of knitting on it was a joy. Every minute of knitting on it was an absolute joy. And look at that, speckles. A version of speckles. I got a version of speckles. It wasn't on a cream colored base, but I'm sorry, that counts as speckles. Well, that side doesn't maybe, but this side does. Anyway, she likes it, and that's the most important thing, and I am seriously enjoying knitting on it. Now, the idea about this was I would do stripes of sparkle and plain. This is so subtle, nobody would know that unless I told them. My guess is that if you notice a sparkle, you're just going to assume the whole thing is sparkle. And if you don't notice the sparkle, then you won't know anything about it, right? So, and I've decided, I have 2 sparkle and 2 not sparkle, and since obviously they're going to be somewhat different, I'm just doing a row of sparkle from one skein and plain from one skein, and then sparkle from the next sparkle skein, and then like alternating skeins as I'm alternating stripes, which should deal with any changes or inconsistencies or whatever and make them probably not so noticeable. Anyway, I'm very happy with it, and I will be working on that today. And if I get ambitious, I might pick up the stitches on one of the sleeves on my purple boxy and have that ready. So I'll work on that, and then this, and then that, and then this. They are both Christmas presents. So, and Christy gave me a suggestion for Rich's Christmas present, which will be fingerless mitts. I don't think he listens to this, but fingerless mitts. For when he's in his backroom office working away in the wintertime, because they work from home. So I was very glad to have a suggestion. So I'll be doing that too. I'll wait. Maybe the knit vent patterns will include a fingerless mitts pattern, although he doesn't need anything fancy. I don't even need a pattern to do his, I don't think. And I'm sure I have them, and there are a bunch of free ones. So I will find a pattern, and I will tell you what it is when I find it. So I will bid you farewell. Thank you again so much for your good wishes, and for your kind thoughts and prayers for our family. It was so kind of you all. Thank you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Please stay healthy and safe and happy. Please stay safe and stay safe. Dennis is taking me for a ride because he saw some beautiful trees yesterday, and there they are. Oh, Lordy Lou. So nice.
We'll get it from the other direction.
We'll turn around and come back. We're on our way to the dog walk. Okay, we're coming back the other direction. There we go. Look at this neighborhood. Aren't they lucky? Oh.
3.